All right, welcome. Yeah, you already know the deal. Welcome to another riveting episode of UnTitled. I'm your host and moderator, R. Jones. Joining me is my two guys. One formerly of the NC and now reside. Wait, no. Let me rewind that. Formerly of the BX, the Bronx, now residing in NC. Dominic Donato's with us tonight. How you doing, young brother?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Good. And also the other ride or die, the man, Hollis, Queens, born and raised, still there to this day. I shouldn't put that out there, but he's still there. My man, Dave. Somebody might come looking for him. Nah, my man, Dave. He's a good guy. Nobody gonna come look for you. David is here. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
All right. Let me throw out this quick disclaimer. Right now I'm away from my stable Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi, but I'm not hooked in, so you might have a God rest your soul, Max. I might have that spirit with me today. Max 611 connectivity issues might be going down.
Well, at least you know you got somebody on here who can host the show.
Yeah, you did it. And by the way, you did an excellent job last week. You really did. I was proud of you. But you see, it's not easy.
It's definitely not easy. It really is not easy.
Yeah, and I think I told you, we was conversing through text. I get my little anxiety.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not gonna front. It really is. So
yeah. But
I showed up late, man.
I know. So Reggie
couldn't even support my brother Dave. I showed
up. But you were there though. You were there. That's all that matters. You were there.
I knew you were coming though. But Reg helped me out because I had a little tech issue. It's one of those things where everything was fine through the run through.
Yeah.
I'm about to go live. Something happens, and I'm like, I can't.
Can't get a break. I get it. I've been there. Trust me, I know the deal. So with that being said, let's get into this tonight. First thing on the docket, we got little Major League Baseball. The spring training issue. Is it too long? I gotta tell you honestly, there's pros to this. And there's cons to this, even with the financials, which I didn't even consider the financial part. You know what I'm saying? Because again, these games are being held in Arizona and Florida.
Yeah.
And what it means financially to those towns. I was shocked at the numbers, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the players go, there's some players that miss it. You know what I'm saying? Not a whole lot, but there's some players that would. I mean, me personally, I think it should be shortened. To me personally, if I had a choice to say yay or nay, I would say yes. Short it, make it short, because you're talking about almost 2 months where you're out there, and it's a long season already. Come on now, and you're risking to me, you're risking injuries to key players. You understand? And you had that last year with the I forgot who was hurt last year. I think it was somebody from the Rays, if I'm not mistaken. But again, you're risking that, and I get the other side too. Where actually, let me take that back. I don't get the other side. What it is the fact that it's not the same anymore. Like in the past, you had guys that would come to camp, they was out of shape. So you needed that extra time to put in to get yourself ready, get yourself in shape, get yourself ready for the marathon that the season is. Now, guys are pretty much cut up. You know what I'm saying? They're all ready. They're hitting baseballs, they're throwing the ball around, they're getting themselves loose. It shouldn't be that long like that. That's just my initial take. So I'm gonna let you guys go on with your take. So
I'll let Dom have the floor.
Okay.
I actually, guys, y'all remember last year I actually enjoyed it. I went down to the Palms when I was in Florida, and we saw the Astros and the Mets.
Right.
And you're right, it does generate money. Here's the catch-22. As soon as somebody gets hurt, they're gonna say, "Oh, we didn't have enough time to work out." I mean, what is it with these athletes nowadays? Don't want to do this. Don't want. How many exhibition games do they play? Maybe 15.
Maybe. I don't know the exact number.
At the end of the whole, at the end of the whole winter, 15 games, maybe.
Yeah.
And what are we doing? I mean,
they have a lot of
making $30-40 million. I mean, you're on the clock, fellas. I mean, let's stop being I'm telling you, let somebody get hurt, pull a hammy, and they'll be like, "See, We told you we should have been. No, man, you was whining about it. I don't know what it is about these pro athletes nowadays, but you're right. For one, it does bring a lot of revenue.
It does bring a lot of revenue.
I went to a game with. Ironically, when I went, it was a good one. Because Scherzer, when he was with the Mets, he was pitching.
Right.
He pitching. Y'all remember me texting you?
Yeah. Right.
Me, how did he look? He was up in this. He was in the 6th inning, gave up 2 hits. I'm like, well, this shit is pretty interesting. We went because it was close to where my son lived.
Right.
So we said, hey, you know what? We're going to give this a shot. See what it's like. And it was beautiful. The place was packed. They were giving out Reggie bars.
Man.
what more could you ask for? The weather was beautiful.
Yeah. Of course.
I don't know with these pro athletes, man. I don't know, Dave.
Well, my take on it is a little bit different. I get the revenue part, and it is very important. I think about these towns that house these teams. A lot of their yearly revenue is built up off of that.
For sure.
And then some of them have the minor league facilities there as well. So I get the revenue. I think about like college towns, small college towns, where when the kids are in school, that's where they make all of their money. When the kids are on break or summertime, it's a lot less. So I understand that, but I also feel that there was a time, as we spoke about before, when players did not have that kind of off-season regimen. There was a time when guys were not making any money and they actually had jobs during the off-season.
Right.
I mean, if you go back, many, many years ago.
For sure.
So it makes me wonder if they had the same type of opportunities to work out year-round back then, when this first started and the idea of spring training and the purpose of it, would they still have had it that long? Because I think the whole thing was they I guess estimated the amount of time it would take for a professional athlete to go from the off season of drinking beers and just hanging out to get them in what they considered to be playing shape. And I think that's where the duration came into place of how long it would take to get them ready to go north. But if they had the same opportunities back then, would they still have needed 2 months? And would we be looking at a month? And nobody would even be having this conversation. So I think that it is long. And anytime you play, you're going to have an opportunity to get injured. We had Edwin Diaz, and that wasn't spring training. That was the World Baseball Classic. Yeah. Now, a lot of these guys play winter ball. They play Arizona Fall League. There, a lot of the international players play in leagues in other countries. So guys are now playing. A lot of them are playing year round. Some kind of baseball, and the bigger stars, they may not be subjecting themselves to gameplay, but they're working out a lot. And a lot of these guys that are on other teams, they're friends. They work out in the off season. So I guess the long way to answer that is I do feel like it could be shortened, but I take the players' word on it, of what they feel. Over mine as a fan, but I do also factor in the fact that it is a revenue generator for these towns and how that might impact them. The players are there shorter.
You know what, Dave? I didn't think of it till you brought it up. Now it's starting to remind me of like Myrtle Beach, all the beaches, Virginia Beach, the one in Maryland. They only have a short period of revenue. And guess what? It's not that long for what they're doing in baseball. You may be talking, 2 months, 2.5 months. And they're gone. I mean,
Let me take this opportunity to bring in Reggie. Your mic is live. You had some background noise, so that's why I kind of muted you a little bit. And also, the Bishop, your mic is live. Thanks, fellas, for joining us tonight. You guys are doing well.
What's up,
as you hear, we're talking about spring training being too long. Let me just throw this in here real quick. We looked at one side, which was the financial. Also, I want to bring up the fact that for players, a lot of non-invitees You know, they're. Well, I gotta throw it out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got players that are unproven, and this is their shot to make an impression on that team, and they need that time. You know what I'm saying? I saw one possible solution was a seven inning games they talked about. I don't know how I really feel about that. I'm kind of like, I don't know if I like that too much. But again, it seems like they're trying to find some type of a solution for all, to me. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Reg Bishop, if you want to chime in, please feel free.
Well, welcome. I'm outside. I had to pick up some dinner for my kids.
Okay.
So I'm at the pizza shop right now.
Oh, okay.
Working.
Okay, brother.
So you got to excuse the noise right now. But as for baseball, to me, and this is just my opinion, you don't take as much of a pounding as you do in other sports, such as football, basketball, and stuff of that nature. But you know, spring training is for you to get you, I guess, into game shape. You know, so if you're not, I don't know if you're not partaking, and then when you finally do get into the game and play, this is how you get injured. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but no, help me out here.
Right.
Too long? I don't think so. The money that these guys are getting paid is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I can't co-sign that one.
Okay, well, you have your opinion. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? I respect what you're saying.
You brought up another great point I wasn't thinking. What about these guys that are trying to make it in the major league? Or go from single A to whatever. You know, that upper mobility with baseball. But yeah, or invitees. Hey,
yes.
Dave, we're inviting you down to Sarasota. You know, come down, give it a shot. You know, these guys aren't even in the system. They're not on no minor league team. They're just being invited down to
Dom.
Come play ball. Let's see what you got.
Are you talking about legit guys, or are you talking about Garth Brooks?
No, Dave, legit.
How about like a happy medium between that?
Garth Brooks.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean. That's a good point, because there's a lot of guys that'll make the team, or at least make, you know, one, two, you know, levels of minor league.
For sure. And they need that extra time benefits them. So if you shorten the spring training,
because there's a lot of minor leaguers in camp, and then some guys early in spring training get dropped down to minor leagues. They still have their own spring training. Not everybody is training with the major league team.
Okay.
So you know, in baseball, there's plenty of opportunities to be seen on the professional level. You know, you don't have to go to it. It's not like the G League or you know, some other league to be showcased. So for a lot of the established players, they use spring training to work on things.
Yes.
You know, if you're a pitcher, you might be working on a new pitch to you know, put in your repertoire. You might if a hitter might be working on an alteration to his stance, or if a guy wants to focus more on stealing more bases, things like that. You know, that's
maybe some need to work on their bunting, but go ahead. That's my opinion.
Yeah, the lost art of bunting. Exactly. But that's the time for those players. They use it more to reacclimate themselves to the speed of the game, and while they're working on trying different things, and a lot of the starters, you know, they may play a couple of innings. As it gets closer to the season, you see them play more. But for them, who've already got their positions and they're pretty much set, spring training is you know, they have their golf clubs. And they go down there, you know, they'll play a couple of innings and go play golf. They also have the split squad. So, you know, guys will travel and other guys, you know, won't. And so there's a lot of ways for guys to get playing time and to be seen. And you don't necessarily have to be seen in the major league camp. So maybe you could have spring training staying the same length, but maybe some of the established guys reporting later.
Because the minor league system, Dave. We have a single A team here. The Yankees AAA is in PA. So I've been to both those stadiums.
Yeah.
That's like an extended version of spring training for these guys.
Yeah.
Especially the AAA system, because their next step is, hey, Dave, our shortstop got hurt. We're going to pull you up from Scranton.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're at Yankee Stadium in the morning.
Right.
So that's like an extended version of it. But again, let the day happen. And, they'll change there too. It seems like everybody wants things to be too easy nowadays. And God forbid you had to put a little effort in something or do a little something extra.
I don't disagree. There's a point that you guys made that you just came back to me. We were talking about, I think Reg was talking about the money. Dom, you mentioned the money. Yes, these guys make a lot of money. So what's different between that, because we're saying play those games, why not? You're making all this money, and an NBA player who's doing load management. Because
that's what brought me to where I'm saying, Dave, about what's next. The NBA with the load management, you'll have people debate that too. It's really not load management. And again, some of the best seasons the NBA had was their strike shortened season when they didn't play 82 games. We've known for how long now to 82 games, and the way they've stretched it out nowadays, where you get 6 months off during the All-Star break. You're talking about October to June. That's almost as long as baseball with half the games.
Yeah.
But again, where do you draw the line? And I don't know. Basketball is just fishy to me because they don't play that many games. They talk about load management. They talk about minutes. And I broke it down one time, guys. On the average game, there's about an hour and change worth of dead minutes in one basketball game.
Yeah.
It increases when the game is a nationally televised game.
Yes, I remember.
But you need to, we're crying about somebody playing 38 minutes.
Yeah.
So you played 38 minutes out of 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
You were working 2.5 hours and you played 30-something minutes. Lord help us. When does it stop?
There you go.
No, I'm just listening, and so in spring training, like these guys, what are they doing? They're playing games, they're working out, they're away from their families. This is like a vacation for them. So they get paid a boatload of money to just chill, work out, and maybe spend some time with their girlfriends before the season starts. And again, I don't understand what the big deal is. It's not like they're absorbing physical contact. It's not like they are padding up and, taking reps like they're getting in the ring. They're playing baseball. I'm not saying that baseball is not a strenuous sport or whatever, but one of the things that was a fact in baseball, guys are playing much later on in life because it's not as strenuous as other sports. So their careers are extended. Is that not correct?
I can agree. I mean,
it depends.
It depends, but I could agree with what Bishop just said. Yeah.
Right. So, again, like most of the guys who are making the big bucks, you ain't expecting them to come there and grind it out and do that stuff because you already know what you're going to get for the most part. And they've done their off-season work already. They're just coming in and fine-tuning stuff. So that's not really for your star players. Unless they were rehabbing, they had, then they can get some extra rehab. And it's more for the middle level guys and the lower level guys who are trying to get put on.
Yeah.
So I don't understand like what the whole big to do is. And it's like, are there increasing injuries or is there a rise in injuries? Is there a rise in, for this to even be a topic? Because a lot of times, a lot of times what happens is it's the media that throws it out there and it keeps talking about it, and then it becomes something that is a problem. The same thing with the load management in the NBA. It's the sports media that made this whole big stink about it to say, okay, well, what about the fans and what about this and what about that? And it's like, so since when have they become the spokespeople for fans? If fans don't like it, they just won't go to the games. They just won't go to the games. You'll see the proof in the bottom line. They just won't go. So it's always a crapshoot when you would like to see a certain player play, but there's no guarantee that they're going to be able to play that day.
Yeah.
In baseball, it's like maybe this is the only opportunity for a lot of people to go to the games.
Depending on the area, yes, Bishop. I think that's one of the things Dave was saying with the revenue and how many people that live in, where did I go? To Palms last year. That's about 35, 45 minutes from Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
I'm assuming that many people, they might be Marlin fans. I don't know. I doubt it. But they do have the Marlins. But again, I sat next to people that flew from Houston. They come down every year because it's actually the Astros' home park for spring training. And they had people that flew down from Houston. This is like a getaway, just like people go to the beach from up north. They come down to Myrtle Beach during the school, when the school breaks and all of that, where,
of course,
people that live in the South look at it as, okay. That's like people in New York. Are they going to venture all the way down to, Florida to see the Mets in spring training? Probably not. You can go right to Citi Field. But for them people in that area, it's a pretty big thing, Bishop. Never mind the revenue. We brought up the revenue and what it brings to them little towns, I don't know if you guys ever been to Penn State.
No.
God trust me.
Happy Valley.
If Penn State wasn't there, I don't know what would be there, guys. I don't know what would be there. Like the football field is probably bigger than the next closest town. That shit is in the middle of nowhere, guys. Trust me. Unlike Delaware State University, a fine HBCU, which is directly across the street from a casino.
Oh, wow.
And a racetrack, Dover Downs. Y'all heard of Dover where they have the rural NASCAR. It's right across the street from DSU. Serious. I mean, it's insane.
Right.
I don't know who's getting a better education. Don't get me wrong. You ain't got shit to do in Penn State but go to class.
Yeah.
If you're failing, it's because you're stupid. You shouldn't be in Penn State to begin with.
Right.
No distractions.
No. Have y'all ever been to Delaware and saw DSU?
No. We spent some students there a few weeks ago just to take a tour.
Lord have mercy. Trust me, guys. It's right across the street from a damn casino. And a lot of the kids I met, because I used to be a manager at Sears, and they would go over there for the buffets. A lot of them weren't into the gambling.
Okay.
Again, it's an HBCU. Not many of them are into NASCAR to begin with, but the buffet was pretty nice. So
that's always a good part of it.
I wanted to say, with spring training, I know people who have gone down to spring training, and one of the appeals is that it's a different level of access. The proximity to the players. Field, Yankee Stadium. You're up in the bleachers or something like that. You might as well be watching on TV in some cases.
Might as well, exactly.
The players are more accessible. They are, it's very kid friendly in that regard and so forth. And so a lot of people go down there to experience not just the games, but the being around the players and being able to talk to them in a less pressured atmosphere. A lot of the guys.
I'll tell you what, Dave, they're like one-level stadiums. Like you don't have a mezzanine, a press box, an upper deck. No, it's just like whoop, and that's it.
That's it.
So it's like what baseball used to be. What baseball used to be.
Yeah, like if you look at Bishop, it's funny you bring that up. Like when I went, I was telling my son and my grandson, I said, look out there right now. This is how baseball started. They didn't have these $84,000 seat of stadiums. They had the little level. If you ever get a chance to go to Philadelphia, it's really in Reading, Pennsylvania. I think it's the Phillies single A team. Guys, this looks like something out of, a Field of Dreams. It's like old. It's the one level, except they have a little outside, not outside, but a bleacher area. Very small bleacher area, maybe 3 rows deep.
Yeah.
But I mean, guys, when I went there, and again, I love baseball. But when I went there, I was like, man, if this ain't a throwback, I mean, they still had beams. Remember the beams in Yankee Stadium?
Of course.
They still had beams in the stands. I was like, wow. But you're right, Dave. You get that up close feeling because there's not 55,000 people going buck wild. There's maybe 25.
Yeah,
maybe
20,000.
That's the experience. That's the experience that you get.
Yeah.
Well, it's the poor man's baseball season.
It ain't that cheap though, Bishop. I'll tell you that.
I'm saying, well, in comparison to regular season,
right.
To the regular season, that's the poor man's. So it's like, this spring training is my baseball season.
Right. Yeah. Let me bring up a comment that a Facebook user had put out there. I don't know who it is. It just comes up Facebook user. Sorry about that, but I'm reading your comment. They feel the baseball season is too long. Well, I don't know. I mean, can it go back? What was it before 162? Wasn't it like 154? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at how much money they make between. So if you add, so it's 154, and now it's 162. You added 8 more games. So how big are those stadiums? How many people do the stadiums fit?
They're starting to shrink them.
They're going back. Mets City Field is about 42.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's still 42,000 people. That's a lot of people.
Yeah,
that's still a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
But remember something, Bishop. With baseball, unlike other sports, with baseball, it's weird because you have probably 3 months, and then your last month, so almost 4 months of the baseball season is if you play day games, the kids can't come because they're in school.
Right.
And every game can't be a night game, and every game's not at home. So it's weird with baseball because they have these like in and out spots. Like again, 4 months. The first 3 months of baseball, kids are still in school.
Yeah.
So they have June, July in the South, probably part of August. So we don't have a team down here. And then you got September, they're back in school. Playoff season, they're back in school. Hence the reason, baseball in their infinite wisdom. If you ever been to Texas, I keep bringing up places, guys. The Texas Rangers do not play day games in the summer. Not happening. They do not play day games in the summer. It is too damn hot, and they play nothing but night games.
Right.
And then you got to deal with the bugs flying all over your head all night. But that being said, that's what I mean about baseball. It's unlike many sports. Like basketball, you go to an arena, you sit down. You could be any time of year. It's going to work its way around school and all this good stuff because the games, the season is it ain't shorter by months,
right?
But it is by game because you got 41 games to go to in your hometown,
right?
So, baseball, I don't know if they should make it shorter. I didn't like the extra playoffs.
Yeah,
that's shit. But now I'm used to that.
See, you're used to it, but you didn't like it initially. I didn't like it. I still don't like it to an extent, to be honest.
I didn't like the one and done. I'm glad they got rid of that.
Yeah,
I didn't like that one and done stuff. That didn't make no sense. And
that's
what made me not like it in the beginning. What are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
We're really doing this?
Everything in sports is financially driven.
Yeah.
Somebody figured out that if we added 8 more games, that now this brings the revenue for each team to this level.
Yeah.
And if we brought the revenue to each team at this level, then we ensuring that we're going to bottom line, this is what we're going to come away with and it's prorated by the value of each team or, the fandom of each team, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So the ticket prices and so forth. So somebody figured out the equation and said, this is what it needs to be. It needs to be 162 games so that we can guarantee that each franchise gets this or makes at least 15%. I'm just throwing out a 15% of revenue or whatever it is. And that's probably how they got to that game number. And again, if people feel like it's too many games, then don't go.
Speaking of baseball, Dave, the Mets just signed J.D. Martinez.
Yeah.
In the chat. Yeah.
I mean,
you don't have to go. You don't have to go to the spring training, do you?
No,
I'm saying the people who are complaining and saying the spring training is too long, don't go.
And that's the weird thing, guys. All this conversation we had, was it the players that brought this up? Or some media, as Butch Bishop would say, the media decided, let's throw that on the wall, see if it sticks. Who brought this up?
I think it was the media. It was media driven. I really do believe that. I think it was media driven. Yeah. And then from there,
too much power in sports. Too much power. Way too much.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys, let's do a little moving along. Still staying in the Major League Baseball realm. Should the New York Yankees have tried harder to sign free agent starting pitcher Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell? And also, there's talk of a return between the team and their former starting pitcher Jordan Montgomery. Let me just start out by saying what I had texted you guys earlier this week about this Snell guy. I think he's 31. I think we said that, if I'm not mistaken. He's 31 years old. Okay, coming off a Cy Young Award. Okay, I get it. At this point, you're 31. You're getting older. My honest opinion is I think this guy wants to cake out on these 2-year deals with perhaps a rising salary, because you're getting 31 per for 2 years with San Francisco. Just sign a 2-year deal, you know what I'm saying, for $62 million and whatnot. I think he's trying to cake out. Okay, I'm not sure if he's going to get to a point where, as he gets older, he's going to be getting $40 million. No. But I think he's going to incrementally, like maybe go up another $2 million when his contract is up. Yeah, let me sign another 2-year deal. That's my thought. And who's his agent? Is it Scott Boras?
Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
He's trying to be the Kirk Cousins of baseball.
Yeah. Well,
and at least he's won something, Reg.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Do the math, guys. The Yankees offered him close to $30 million for 5 years.
Yeah.
And this is what I was telling you earlier, Reg. I mean, I think a lot of these players are going to start doing. LeBron did it for years.
Yeah.
So we can't really knock the hustle of saying, you know what, I don't want to lock myself into. But if I could get $31 million for 2 years, maybe with an option, I'm 31 years old. I'll be 33. I'm a pitcher. So if I get this money real quick, then again, in baseball, your contracts are guaranteed. So if he hit a wall after the second year, the Yankees would still owe him what, $75 million damn dollars. I mean, I don't get it. I think the Yankees, they did what they could do. They offered him $150 million.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't.
Yeah, but how many days does a pitcher work?
Yeah, exactly, Reg.
Yeah.
35, maybe 30, 35.
But it's not about that. I mean, you look at last year, Scherzer, Verlander.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys were almost senior citizens, and they were
right.
100%. But they pitch every 5th day.
Yeah, but it's always like that. I mean, unless you're Shohei Ohtani. But which is another subject. But let me just say this, and I'm gonna jump off of it. Is that to answer the question? I don't think the Yankees should have tried harder. I don't think it was a case of that they didn't try hard enough. It wasn't a bidding war.
Right.
It wasn't a bidding war for Snell. It's not like there were multiple teams in there, and then you say, well, the Yankees didn't try hard enough, and somebody else snatched them. It was this guy and his agent seemed indecisive about some things, and then wound up in San Francisco. They took that deal, but it wasn't anything. I don't think anything that the Yankees could have done any more than what they already did. So I would not hold it against the Yankees. It was a decision.
Funny thing, Dave, me and you follow baseball, and I do. I don't remember after the Yankees offered him $150 million. I don't remember nobody else giving him an offer.
I don't either.
Hence the reason it dragged on so long.
Right.
So you can't say they was going up, and like Dave said, they weren't. They were bidding against themselves.
Right.
So they weren't going to go batshit crazy. $150 million. The Giants didn't offer him 152, and now you got to come back with 153. No, they were the only ones that offered him anything.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second. My thing is this. Dom, David, you say that the Yankees have offered him like $30 million roughly, right? If not more.
Right.
Okay, a 5-year deal. So that would be $150 million for a contract. So if you're sitting down with this guy and you're negotiating, what happens? That's what I'm saying. What happened to the negotiation? You want to get a 2-year deal? All right, you know what? You got $31 million from San Fran. Could we have offered $1 million or maybe even $2 million more for 2 years and sign this guy and plug a hole that Cole's injury has caused for almost 2 months? I'm just throwing that out there, you know?
Yeah, but that's it. I think what's happening, especially with Scott Boras. Again, us baseball guys, remember, it was a couple of years ago. Scott Boras and some of these agents were up in arms because they thought, with all the money they throw around in baseball, they thought some of the owners were stymieing these salaries.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Machado made about, $6 zillion. Mike Trout made $6 zillion. Soto made $6 trillion. Harper, all your big players were making big bucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you throw in what Ohtani got this year. So what was y'all bitching about? But see, this is Scott Boras. So Scott Boras is going to sit back on his 1980s laurels and think we're going to hold teams hostage. And I think a lot of teams are saying, nah, Reg, you ain't doing that shit no more. Excuse my French. I think a lot of teams ain't going for that. Somebody putting a gun to my head.
Right.
No,
right.
we all know the Yankees got money. And like I said, $150 million, guys. I watched this for how many months? And I never heard Dave say, hey, we offered him 151. No, nobody said shit until the Giants signed them.
Yeah,
exactly.
We can't blame the Yankees this time.
No,
I mean,
no.
And a lot of people
is a pain in the ass.
And a lot of people aren't made for New York anyway, so he probably really didn't want to come here in the first place.
That's another thing.
That's true. And
I used to have them arguments with Chandler all the time.
Okay.
I'll give you an example, guys, with Scott Boras. Scott Boras was A-Rod's agent. What happened when A-Rod got traded to the Yankees? Yep. When that contract with Texas was up, Scott Boras kept going back and forth with Steinbrenner. And A-Rod's like, yo, I made $25 million a year. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Boras, you're fired. I'm going to go talk to Mr. Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
End the conversation.
Right.
But all that did was piss Mr. Scott Boras off again. And he's got a lot of clients, guys. I can't knock his hustle.
Yeah.
But he's just mad that he can't strong arm these owners no more with subpar players.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit's over, fellas. No.
Okay.
Because remember, one thing, guys, with baseball, everybody says baseball don't have a salary cap, which in actuality, they don't, but they do.
Right.
They have a threshold. When Dave Mets go over that threshold, that money goes in a pot. It gets disseminated through all the teams in baseball.
Right.
The year the Kansas City Royals won the World Series, they should have gave part of their trophies to the Mets, the Dodgers, the Yankees, because they fielded that team.
Yeah.
They didn't have one. Their whole payroll was probably $32 million.
Exactly.
And they won the World Series. That pissed Boras off even more. Here's a team winning a World Series, and you're asking at that time probably 30-something million for a good player. And a baseball team won a World Series with their salary at that.
For that same price.
Threw him for a real loop. Oh, shit, what's going on here?
Exactly.
And you fast forward, it was only a couple of years ago, guys, you remember this. Everybody was like, hey, these 8, 9, 10-year contracts, we're going to drop back on this stuff. And, baseball has changed, guys. The door's still open for the great players.
Yeah.
But Scott Boras thinks Dave and me, fresh out the minors, is supposed to be getting $25 million a year.
Right. It's ridiculous.
It's over.
It's ridiculous. But now, David, you hit on I think it was David. You hit on a point about players not wanting to come to New York.
That might have been Reg.
That was Reg. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, Reg. You had said that about players not wanting to come to New York or not being able to perform in New York. This guy, Jordan Montgomery, I think he fits that mold. I really think he fits that mold. I think the Yankees need to proceed cautiously because they at one point Jordan wanted out of New York. That's just what it is. He wanted out of New York, and from that point to now, this point where they're starting to be in contact and speak again, which doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a Yankee, guaranteed. It's just that they're talking and whatnot. You understand? But again, this might be a guy you might not want because of the fact you were worried about being booed. Once you worry about being booed, you lost your way. You've lost your way. That says a lot right there.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the Yankees already got it up to like $18 million a year.
They got him?
He understands that, one, the Yankees pitching has been injury prone, suspect, whatever you want to call it. So now he's almost in the driver's seat with like, yo, Dave, I know you need something.
Yeah.
Whether I'm not Sandy Koufax, but I'm something that you need. Here we go again with the need over. It's funny, guys. You know, Stroman has wanted to be a Yankee for years. Now he's got a little age on him. He finally gets a chance to play for the Yankees. And, you know, Montgomery, I mean, I would love to say, guys, I wish that ship would sail. But knowing where we are right now with injuries. And that's a funny thing, guys, and I'm going to shut up. Speaking of spring training, why did it take so long during spring training for us to realize Cole was hurt? What the hell was we doing or he doing all year before spring training started? He didn't get hurt in spring training. But now he's out for what? Who knows how long?
Well, the original report was 4 to 6 weeks, which is
now it's 2 months, maybe 2 months. Yeah.
That's what I was
missing 2 months, missing 2 months of baseball.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Where was that before he came to spring training?
Well, they need to take a hard look at the staff, the training staff.
Yeah, he was on his own. He was on his own. There wasn't no workouts and you know, and then we want to shorten spring training. So we might not have knew about this if we shortened spring training for about 2 weeks before the season. Figure that one out.
Crazy how it works.
Yeah.
Crazy how that works.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exact, man. But again, let me ask you. You said they signed him for $18 million?
Who? No, they
Montgomery.
offered him. I don't think they signed him yet.
Oh, okay, so they offered him.
Just got $12 million for 1 year with the Mets.
Yo,
JD
JD,
Martinez,
36 years old. Exactly.
Yeah, $12 million. Like he ain't make enough money. But you know what? Not to switch subjects, guys. I spoke to these guys on Twitter that are Met fans, and y'all know I don't hate the Mets. I was telling them 2 years ago when the Mets were getting really good, when even though they got knocked out in the wild card against it and didn't win a game, but I always thought they should have got JD Martinez. You know, National League got the DH now. I mean,
exactly.
I don't think JD Martinez played the field in like 25 years, but hey, he's a great hitter. He can hit. Don't get it twisted. He might be 36 years old, but he can still hit.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna find out.
See how it works out.
We're gonna see. Yeah, $12 million. I think it's just that 1 year. You know what I'm saying?
It's 1 year.
So
it's 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year deal. We're gonna find out.
Dave, you're a Mets fan.
Yeah.
You like it?
I'm with it. Yeah. He's a professional hitter. You know the same vein. You know, like Edgar Martinez was.
You know what's funny? I was just thinking about that guy. I was just thinking no BS. I was just thinking about Edgar Martinez. Like he's a professional hitter.
Yeah, and,
you know,
and also another right-handed bat in there, and what you want to do is protect Alonso in the lineup.
Yeah, well, he should be able to protect him. You know what I'm saying? If he's a professional hitter like that, which he is, and as long as his age doesn't affect him, I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem with that.
Unless we hit the Flushing curse and all of a sudden his arms.
Don't say that, Dave. I don't even remember this guy getting hurt too often. I mean, he don't play the field, so
right. Well, you should.
But he is a professional hitter.
Okay, all right.
Well, I'm pleased with it. You know, I think it's a sound move. Office protection in the lineup. Another guy that the opposing pitchers have to worry about. So there are positives in it, and $12 billion is not much to drop on that for that
peanuts
benefit.
Exactly. Yeah. Imagine saying that.
Oh, it's totally nothing. Yeah.
He's only making $1 million a month. Oh,
I was about to say the same thing, Dom. I was just really about to say the same thing.
Like I said, imagine saying that. Exactly. All right. Let's do some moving on to this guy. Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
Now, right off the bat, I was reading some things. They say that they're not accusing Sir Ohtani, and I think that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I know Major League Baseball is investigating. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to investigate his alleged involvement. Because I think a friend of the interpreter or somebody was saying they kind of flipped the switch in their storytelling. Saying at first, he knew about this. He knew what I was into. To no, I'm gonna deny that. I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Who was right?
You got to deny it, because if you say you knew and you were trying to help a friend out, then that means you were complicit. That means that you could have possibly asked him to place the bets on your behalf.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you say you didn't know and he stole it, he was, then it's much more palatable, because then people start parsing things and start to delve into it and then set up a Venn diagram. Well, if you had this situation here and this situation here, then where did the two of these meet in the middle? And then this is where the truth is. Now, if we look at the truth of the situation, you know what I mean? Then you'll be inundated with talking about this, because this is a popular player. He's making a boatload of money and so forth. Then it'll be like, well, is he actually betting? Is he pretending that he doesn't understand what's going on? Right. He really understands much more? Because $500,000, the amount of the bet's a chump change to him.
Right.
I don't understand how the interpreter would be putting up this kind of cash.
Right.
Where would he be getting this kind of cash from?
This is where it got shady, Bishop, just like you said. Let's all put out 10 hats on and turn the channel, turn Fox and play X-Files.
I got one question.
Said he was paying off his bill. Didn't they say that yesterday? He knew this guy was in debt betting and he paid his debt.
Yeah.
Today I got robbed.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Now again, it makes you put your 10.
I got one question.
10 hat on and say, we know MLB. One, he's a foreigner, so we don't want no foreign backlash. He's become your face of baseball. Yeah. We don't want that. But again, guys, as much as I love baseball, they're always 2 steps behind. They was 2 steps behind with steroids. They was 2 steps behind with drug use. Yeah. You don't remember when guys were getting suspended for 2 weeks. Art Howe, Steve, whatever his name was, Howe. He got suspended 5,000 times out for doing cocaine. Him, Strawberry, Gooden, and they was back in baseball like 10 minutes later. So he was behind the 8 ball and everything. Can Major League Baseball get out in front of anything?
Nope.
I know they don't want to do it this time, but damn guy just yesterday, he was saying, man, my homie R, he was in debt to these gamblers and they was gonna break his legs.
Right.
But wouldn't you have your attorney handle that? I got robbed. Wouldn't you have your attorney handle that? Because at the end of the day, it's not a good look. So you would have your attorney handle it, because there's some kind of company, some kind of shell company, some kind of, you understand what I'm saying? So it's not sophisticated. It doesn't seem like it's even, because.
Wait, I got a question. I'm sorry. Let me finish, and then I got a question for the group.
No, I'm just saying.
I got a question too.
Oh yeah, Reg, you asked your question.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. My question is, where was this dude at when Michael Vick was going through his shit?
Well, that was family.
Exactly my point.
That was family.
And this dude is just a friend. That sucks, bro. Right. You got some shitty family, boy.
Yeah, well, and nobody cared about Leroy Jenkins fighting dogs. They would have just said, yo, dude, you can't own any more pit bulls. And who going to track Leroy Jenkins down to know whether or not he got a pit bull or not? Who going to track him down?
Yeah. Well, let me ask this question now, because so what has Ohtani said?
He don't understand English. He don't know what's going on.
Right.
That's what his new interpreter said, Dave.
He said nothing.
So this, because this is what I'm saying. Because the man who spoke for him, who's the interpreter, you know, is the one that's under investigation. So I'm like, well, what is he saying? He's got nobody now to even speak for him.
He had somebody speaking for him yesterday and today. Like I said, yesterday it was I was helping my homie out. He was in debt. Mm-hmm. Today it was I got robbed.
Yeah, but didn't the team hire
giving somebody anyway? Money? That's kind of weird, guys. I don't want to get into all the.
Yeah, well, somewhere we got that poster. You know that the wall up there with the detectives doing everything, putting everything together, and that one guy who's the brother that said, you know, you effed up, right? So
yeah. When you putting up that, when you start the investigation, investigation.
No, you done fucked up.
Who's at the top? Exactly. Who's at the top of the chain? Who's at? Oh, that was that was
as long as
that was Menace to Society. Yeah. Was that Menace to Society?
Yeah.
As long as you ain't asking that AOC from New York because you don't know what RICO is, and that's part of the RICO statute. What's going on with him?
She knows what it is. No, she knows what it is. What she was trying.
She thinks it ain't a crime.
No, what she was trying to get to was you up here talking about there's a crime, just saying that there's a crime. Please explain to me what specific crime that, because you are putting yourself out to be an expert. Now, when she put him on the spot to ask him for him to say what crime, because you keep saying that there was a crime committed, and you can't say what crime was committed. So therefore, that invalidates what you're saying.
She said the RICO is not a crime.
No. The RICO itself is not the crime. The statutes within the RICO.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
But that's what she asked. That's what she was asking him.
She's the same, and I don't want to get off track. She's the same idiot that said crossing the border illegally is not illegal.
Well, I don't know about that. Cause,
she's the same one. But anyway, the funny part is with this guy, Dave, yesterday, I was on this show with these Yankee fans, and that's when it came out. And he was saying, hey, Dave, I know you was in a bind. He gave him, what was it, $2.something million? That this dude was in debt. And now all of a sudden somebody got in his ear because I think, you know, sooner or later somebody's going to do an investigation, whether it's going to be a hard one or. Yeah. But then it turns into I got robbed. Come on, man. How did you get robbed? What did this
he could say, well, yeah, but the crazy part is I'm like, well, why would you? It would have been more palatable to say the guy got in, he got access to my information. And because he was my interpreter, he went behind my back and he illegally made these transfers from my account. Because if you're aware of it and you're trying to help a friend out, you would have an attorney do it. You could have paid the attorney fees, and then the attorney would have turned around and paid this guy. And there would be no link to you. Yeah. There would be no link to you. It would be some kind of corporation or some kind of thing.
But that's where I got my tin hat. That's where I put that tin hat conspiracy thing on, Bishop. He's thinking, why do I got to go through all of that? I know this dude. He's my interpreter. He's behind the 8 ball. Dave is in the bind. I'm going to help Dave out. But then when it started coming out with, was this guy placing bets for Dave?
Right.
All of a sudden, the subject, the story changed in 24 hours.
Yeah.
He's not only the interpreter. That's that angle too.
But I'm saying that's when you do that. I don't understand the question.
No,
that's when you get that perplexed look on your face, and you said, "No, when they asked me the question initially, my English is not so good, so I didn't understand clearly." Huh?
Don't make fun of it, Bishop, because I actually thought that, like, when the answer came out yesterday, he could sit back and say, "I know, say that."
Yeah,
exactly.
My bad.
Exactly.
He said,
"You didn't pay this bill." I'm pretty sure, guys, he paid it. I would love to.
He paid it.
Yeah, I'd love to find out it was him betting though, and see what Major League Baseball would do.
He told him, go in my wallet and take.
Yeah, they're not going to Pete Rose him.
I got
They're
you
not going to
back.
Pete Rose him.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, there's
they ain't
too
gonna
much.
do that.
Whoever's
Good.
investigating,
There we
whoever's responsible for the investigating, there's too
Hello?
much money to be lost on
Oh,
this.
absolutely.
So what'll happen is it'll get
Still
lost in
there?
the shuffle. It'll get lost in the shuffle. Then they'll come out with
Yellow.
another
Yeah.
word salad,
Yellow.
and
Hello.
Rodney,
Uh-oh. Having a little trouble. Yeah.
you there, Rod?
Yeah, I'm there. I don't know about anybody else, but the little trouble, like I said.
Next
What?
on Untitled.
what happened?
You can't hear nobody, Dave?
No, R was having some trouble.
Yeah. I'm away from my what do you call it? My router, real quick. I usually plug it in. So
Is it your router or your neighbor's router?
Yeah.
Bootlegging shit.
He in there kicking the wall like, yo, leave that router alone. Stop moving it around.
He asked Dave if he could stay off Pornhub for a couple hours.
Listen. I already thought you wasn't here. I threw out a disclaimer already. So kill all that noise. Stop that. I was what?
Ours on DSL.
Dial up.
Oh man. Oh, whatever. Anyway, we're gonna be moving along.
Online.
Yep.
Oh God! Listen. Cut it out. We're gonna move on. Let's go into the lane of the NFL. Liddy. Have you guys heard about these proposals?
No.
Not at all.
No. Okay. One is a proposed hip drop tackle ban. Then there's the change, and this is for 1 year, supposedly, that they say. Changes for kickoffs. Now, I'm gonna read off some stuff to you guys, especially at the kickoff. I'm not the brightest guy in the world, and I'm reading it.
Well, we already know this.
Another disclaimer.
Say less. All right. Say less.
I'm gonna give you that one.
You open the door, baby.
I'm gonna give you that one. Okay, just that one. Proposals for 1 year only. The new kickoff rules would feature new alignments for both the kicking and receiving units. A proposed landing zone area between the receiving team's goal line and its 20-yard line would prompt action of the kickoff, off the kickoff, if the ball were to land there. Kickoffs would remain at the 35-yard line, but the remaining 10 players of the kicking unit would line up at the opposing team's 40-yard line. The receiving team would line up at least 7 players in the setup zone, a 5-yard area between their own 30 and 30-yard lines, and a maximum of 2 runners are permitted to line in the landing zone.
Okay. I'm just going to stop you for a moment. Did anybody else have trouble hearing what R was saying?
Yeah, I thought it was my
It sounded
headphones.
it sounded like AI.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. I thought I heard you got mail in the background, but
okay, smart ass.
Yeah.
You're in the Matrix, R.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So the gist of what you're saying is,
Mm-hmm.
before long, rugby is going to be a rougher sport than the NFL.
It is
Pretty much.
Because I'm like, the whole purpose of football is the physicality and the skill sets and so forth. Now you're taking part of that out of the game. Before long, it's going to be flag football. It's going to be flag. You can't hit anybody. You can't, now you got to, now the way you hit somebody is a problem.
I know it was hard to understand, R, but I didn't understand where this guy lines up, that guy lines up. They're still kicking it out the end zone. So they can be standing right next to each other. The ball's still going in the end zone. So unless they come up with a rule where you can't kick it in the end zone, I don't know what that one means, R, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, what are we doing here?
All right, let me see.
All right, what are you doing? You typing the next question? You gonna have a cue card?
He said if he takes his
Bishop.
camera.
Oh Lord.
It's like, he try. No, what it is he's trying to run his takeout kitchen.
It's a very Chinese restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like Oz Blackanese restaurant.
Stupid. Oh, that boy. Oh, Bishop is stupid.
AB's Blackanese cuisine.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. Man, I may have to make this a short one tonight, so we'll see. I don't feel like dealing with it.
Yeah, without basketball?
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah.
A short one without basketball.
No, we can do the basketball. That's fine.
I was getting ready to say, I don't know. I might like the other host better.
Whatever, son.
Yeah.
Word?
I think
Dave was highly prepared.
I think somebody's looking out on the Hinge portion again. We haven't had.
It's highly prepared with Wi-Fi. With a reliable Wi-Fi connection. He had shaved. He was well spoken.
Oh man, this is cold blooded, man. This is cold blooded. I didn't want.
We love
and he didn't wear a turtleneck.
Yeah, right.
This is cold blooded.
He was sipping. He had a smoking jacket on. He was sipping on some cognac.
Shay. Had his tight jeans on.
Whatever. All right, let's look at some NBA real quick before this thing shuts down again. The season's getting ready to end. I think it's the last month.
Well, it's 15 games.
15 games.
15 games. Okay. Wow. I gotta tell you, I'm still not impressed with Boston. Off the bat, I'm not impressed.
You're not what?
You're not who?
I'm not impressed by Boston. I'm not.
Boston.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No, they're gonna get spaced.
No.
They're gonna get spaced.
Yeah.
They're gonna get spaced. And if they play Miami in the first round, it might be Miami. It might be Miami. They're gonna get spaced.
Okay.
They're gonna be the team with the best record, and we all know what Porgy is. We all know what he's capable of. And if Tatum and Brown are gonna be the ones that take the bulk of the shots, the only thing you got to do is stop one of those guys.
Right.
And there's some teams in that Eastern Conference that are built specifically for that, to stop one of those guys. Tatum is shaky. He's shaky. He gets, and he's got a trigger finger. Like, he don't care. He'll take bad shots. He's just gonna shoot it. And in the playoffs, he's been playing nice in the sandbox during the regular season.
Right.
But the playoff time is his time to shine. And win, lose, or draw, I will lose every single game as long as I get my stats.
He's a turnover machine in the postseason.
As long as I get my stats. As long as I get my stats.
As long as I get your stats, exactly.
As long as I get my stats, I'm good. Now, they got some complementary players, but if they're going to be taking the bulk of the shots, and I don't see their coach being able to make that adjustment to say, okay, well, we're going to allow Drew Holiday and the other guard to take more shots. It's got to be evenly distributed. Like, everybody's got to evenly distribute. You just get your 10 to 12 shots, and you got to make the most out of it. You got to make the most out of those 10 to 12 shots, and whoever's got it going, like if Brown has it going, or they don't have that type of offensive structure. So it's still going to be those two guys taking the bulk of the shots. And like I said, there's certain teams in the Eastern Conference that are built, and that were built specifically for those two.
And what teams are those?
So a healthy Knicks team.
Knicks,
yes,
one, yeah.
That's one, definitely.
Is built for that. I'm not even talking about Milwaukee because they still have, like, since Giannis has been out, they've played a lot better, and it's kind of like they've played a lot better, and it's kind of like, I wonder when he comes back if he's gonna take a wrecking ball of that, because I'm Giannis, so I get to bring the ball up. I get to do this every time he's on the court. It's like you got Dame, you got these other guys around you, and you jack up a 3-pointer. It's like the craziest thing to me. The craziest thing. This Dame can hit 3-pointer from half court, but you taking this robotic air ball, side of the backboard, just horrible 3-point shots. Like you shouldn't be taking 3-point shots at all. So I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about Cleveland. We all know what Cleveland's capable of when somebody gets in their face and bullies them. So if they got to play Miami, they're gonna get space too. So if they finish in that 2 spot, they're gonna get space too.
Right.
So if the Knicks finish,
No, I was.
What about Indiana?
Indiana's is they're window shoppers.
They can't stop nobody.
Yeah, they're window shoppers. It's like they can't stop anybody. And during the playoffs, it's like, you're gonna be playing good teams each night. So it's like Halliburton is not gonna be free flowing, and it's just not gonna happen.
Well, I'll tell you this. In regards to you saying the Knicks for one against Boston. Now, mind you, the Boston Celtics have swept the season series. But again, we're talking about the playoffs. It's a different beast.
Yeah, but they haven't been healthy Knicks. They haven't faced the full.
And that too. And that's an excellent point as well. You know what I'm saying? I think, first of all, if you're not afraid of a team and you're ready to go to war, and the Knicks have been at war with teams, and they've won gritty games. I've seen it. They've won gritty games. You know what I'm saying? And without fully manned. You understand? And they've gone on the court and they have performed well. I will say that, definitely. So I think
still not getting back in. Still not getting back
in. Will you allow me to be objective for a second? Good God, man.
You see that, Dave, right? You see that, Dave? You see
Dave does. Oh my God, that's it.
You see that, Reg? You see it, Reg? Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to snake his way back in, dog.
What's team are the Nets? Brooklyn, they're a 15 seed in the tournament.
Yeah, they're not even in it. They're not even in it.
No, talking about March Madness.
Oh. No, they
they're
played
16 seed.
No, they played at HBCU and they lost out for
NIT.
No, they didn't even get invited to the NIT.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is what I'll say
here we
about
go.
the Knicks. Nobody remembers last year.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have DiVincenzo. Hartenstein wasn't playing like this. They didn't have OG. And the Knicks beat Boston 3 out of 4 games last year.
In Boston
They
twice.
beat them 3 out of 4. And 2 of the games were in Boston, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody said a word about that because the Knicks never met them in the playoffs. So, again, I always say this, guys, especially when we do our Knicks show. I only worry about Milwaukee, and not because of just Giannis. Milwaukee is not going to go small. They're going to go big. They're going to stay big. They're going to come at you big. So, and I give the Knicks credit, guys. They still will play that bully ball. No matter how big you are, they're still going to come out there. They're going to punch you in your face and see if you could take that punch. Right. They're like the 90s Knicks. With a few more better offensive players.
Yeah.
Imagine if Patrick Ewing had a couple of these guys around him when he was in the league.
Might not have a drought.
Yeah, exactly.
You might not have a drought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I may still be a Knicks fan.
Not, guys. There's only a couple of really good teams in the East, and the Knicks happen to be one of them. Bishop laid it out for you. Indiana, I said this in the beginning of the year. I thought Indiana was going to be the first team to give up 200 points in a game. They came close a couple of times, 150, 156. But they couldn't stop nobody all season, guys. And that Halliburton guy, as much as I like him, them wheels ain't moving as fast as they were moving 2 months ago. His numbers have gone down. He's had a couple of games. Matter of fact, this past week, 7 points, 6 points. I mean, it's a long season, and you could be doing all that fancy dancy stuff in October, but he ain't doing it in March. And the Knicks just keep on rolling. I'll end with this, guys. And I'm not just saying the Knicks. Show me any team in recent history that was missing 3, 4, and on occasions 5 of their starting 5. Still 14 games over 500. Tell me who did that. I can't remember, guys, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Knicks fan. I have not seen anybody get bitten this bad. And look what happened to Philadelphia. One player, and B went down. They went from a second seed to a play-in team. And the Knicks just kept on rolling along, guys.
Yeah.
It was Randall, then it was Robinson, then Randall, then OG, then Brunson, and the hot dog vendor Spike Lee couldn't talk. And they're 14 games over 500, guys.
That damn Jaime Jaquez. Jaquez. He's the one. It's like, yo, dude, there was no way. That was a dirty play. There was no way you were going to block that shot. No way.
With Randall
coming on a fast break. You undercut him. And he landed on he landed all his full body weight on that arm. Right. There's no way that you were going to block that shot, dude. Just get out of the way, take the 2 points, and keep it pushing.
Yeah.
It goes to show you one thing, though. As much as you hear about this Heat culture, who's developed the culture this year? Let Jimmy Butler and Bam go down for 2 weeks. They'll be 0-10.
Yep.
0-10. But the Knicks have lost everybody under the sun. And they just kept rolling along, guys. You know, we've had so much with these crazy Knicks fans. Cam Reddish was the next George Gervin. Obi Toppin was the next Connie Hawkins. And guess what? They were replaced by the Villanova Knicks.
Yeah.
You got two guys that are 6'4", and both of them are averaging more rebounds than Obi. And he's a power forward.
Yeah.
6'9".
Yeah.
He's still averaging 2 to 3 rebounds a night. Meanwhile, Josh Hart's getting triple doubles at 6'4".
Right.
Really?
Well, Obi plays the way for the basket, though.
And then you forget about the fact that I'm not gonna dog the Heat too much, because when Precious Achiuwa played with them, when he played with them, I'm like, yeah, people forget, like, he was the main part of their rotation. So it just so happened when he got to Toronto, because they didn't play that grit and grind style, that they didn't utilize him. But it's like people were like, oh, well, why did we get him? We need to trade him. We need to. It's like, you just got to give this dude an opportunity to figure out, like, where he fits in, to figure out where he fits in. And it's like, so now when everybody does come back and they get, in the swing of things, now you got bona fide players coming off the bench. So you got bona fide players that got starter minutes playing against second unit players.
Okay, but you got to guard against Thibodeau and his rotation. It's like he wants to run.
No he got that on lock.
Trust. He's built the trust, though. He's built the trust. Precious Achiuwa has built the trust. Deuce has built the trust. So you're gonna get those minutes. You understand what I'm saying? The only person that I'm kind of like waffling on, and I'm like, I don't know what his issue is Bogdanovich. I'm like, I was expecting him to come in. I was expecting him to come in and he's average 15 to 20 points a game. Easy. Easy. But it's like he's the bigger version of Frenchie.
Wow.
I will say this, guys. All the time I kept saying, Leon Rose, tick-tock, you're on the clock. The strangest thing I saw all year was before they got rid of Barrett, before they got rid of Quickly, before they got rid of Grimes, out of nowhere, they extended Deuce McBride for 3 years.
Yep.
Anybody been watching him play lately?
Yeah.
Somebody knew what the hell they were doing.
Finally.
Finally. He's been playing defense like that since he got in the league.
He was always a good defender, Bishop.
Right, since he got in the league.
Shoot like this.
Right.
No. I found out. I found out. Yeah, he was shooting. He was shooting. We found out about that.
He was scoring 40 points a game, scoring 40 points a game, and what you see. Yeah, but what you would see in the regular season when he was playing was he was rushing the shots. He was rushing the shots. Now you see he's getting some elevation on the ball. He's a bit more comfortable. He doesn't have to worry about well, if I miss a shot, am I coming out the game?
That's the
Right.
Am I coming out the game? If I miss, so I watched him play Golden State, and he played the best defense on Steph Curry that I've seen in a long time. Now Steph missed some shots, but Steph was taking some really tough shots.
Yes.
And even when he got open, Deuce was still coming around those screens and contesting the shot. So it changed it just a little bit, and he was missing. That was some good defense without fouling. Without fouling.
And how many points did he score that night? 20-something?
29.
29.
29. So and he punished them. And then on top of that, when you watch these games, watch the guys that it's hard for people to screen them. That it's hard for people to screen them. When it's hard for guys to come over and set a screen on you, that creates all kind of havoc for the offense, because your plays are predicated off being able to screen this guy. So it's only a few guys in the league that they don't allow you to screen them. Like Drew Holiday is one of those guys that they don't allow you to screen them. And Deuce McBride is becoming one of those guys that it's like, yeah, you can't screen me because I'm too quick. And if I know the screen is coming off, they let me know the screen is coming. I'm putting my hands out. So you screen it on my hand. I can put my hand on you and move around you. So and it creates all kind of havoc. If you think about it, that's 3 to 5 seconds that you're taking away from the offense. And
the Knicks are not afraid. Like I said earlier, they're not afraid to go bully ball mode.
No.
And that's shocking from NBA teams nowadays, because the NBA is so geared on offense. Offensive driven league. Everybody's giving up 115, 116 points, except the New York Knicks. And Minnesota, believe it or not. Minnesota.
When they played that Orlando game?
Yeah,
they played that Orlando
Knicks
game.
And Minnesota have stood pat with being the only two teams for almost all the year that have given up less than 110 points a night. Just the Knicks and the T-Wolves. Everybody else is like 114, 115. Indiana 190. But the Knicks and the T-Wolves have done the same thing all year, holding teams under 100. Now they're at 106. That's hard in today's NBA. But again, like Bishop said, they're not going to let a screen stop them. Everybody that comes in knows their role, whether it's Josh Hart, Ragu. Everybody that comes in knows their role, and they're feeling it like they've been playing together for 5 years. And this has only been in effect, all this together, for what? When was the trade deadline? January?
February.
Yeah, so you figure 3 months, 2 months, all this has come together with injuries? Come on, guys.
February.
I'm not, again, we got to stop with this Knicks for clicks shit. If we could do Knicks for clicks, that means we got to give Knicks credit for what they're doing. If we're going to bash Thibodeau for everything under the sun, then you got to give him credit for what he's managed to do with this team.
Yeah.
We should have been dead in the water, guys, 2 months ago.
It's like you've been able to take parts that people wouldn't figure. So even with Sims, I'm like, it's the NBA. It can be a pick and roll league. This dude jumps out the gym. I don't understand why it's like, yo, dude, like you should at least have 5 to 10 points a game with the amount of rebounds that you grab. You should at least have 5 to 10 points a game. And we got dead weight at the big spot. We got a little bit of dead weight there, and that's the only weakness I see.
And that's why I told you before, Bishop. I think Hartenstein gives us a different look on offense. He could pass. He could hit a shot. He can block shots. He could play good. He gets rebounds. But when we put Mitch in there, we're back to being that one-dimensional 4-on-5. We're back to playing 4-on-5 basketball. He's never going to touch the ball unless it's the alley-oop. Hartenstein will get the ball at the foul line and make moves and find a passing lane for somebody.
Right.
So Robinson don't do that, guys. I hate to say it. I love Mitch. He's a Knick. But
ready the time to move on.
Yes. Take that $15 million and
move on. Time to move on.
I don't mean that in a bad way, guys. He's been playing for 5 years. He hasn't developed a jump hook, underhand basket, and he shoots 10% from the foul line. You can say he rebounds and blocks shots. I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But homeboy can't shoot a foul shot, man. He scares you to death when he goes to the foul line.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's time.
One way to remedy that is just tell him that he's doing YouTube.
Yeah. Or like I said, he gotta come off the bench, guys. I don't think he's starting material no more. If I had it my way, if like Bishop said, if Sims, another one with all his athleticism, he's got to develop a little something too, which would give us another bone in the Robinson. But
that rebound comes off
that.
But nobody's working with these guys to do that, bro.
I see Othello Harrington on the bench. I see other big men on the bench, and it's like it's not a post-up league. So you don't have to have a post game. You just go to the basket and just follow up and dunk. I watched this dude grab a rebound, and his head seemed like it was at the white box. His head, not the afro, the head. So I'm like, so you can just run in there and just bang it down on people. Even if you get an offensive foul or whatever, coming over the back or whatever, I don't care. Just do something offensive. Like sometimes he'll get the offensive rebound, and it's like the basket is on fire. He runs out of there like it's a burning building. Like I don't want to. I'm passing it out.
Off subject a little bit. Speaking of offensive fouls,
I don't want to jinx nothing, but if the Knicks beat Denver tonight, I cannot remember the last time the Knicks went undefeated on a West Coast trip.
Wow.
If they beat Denver tonight, they're 4-0 on this West Coast trip.
You know how they could beat them, right? Gordon and your boy. Stop them.
Yeah.
Stop.
I'll tell you what, that kid's been playing ball, man. That Michael Porter.
Michael Porter Jr.
Pisses me off every time I watch him play, guys. You know how I feel. Kevin Knox, a good kid. But he ain't shit when it comes to playing basketball. But he was a good kid, according to Phil Jackson. And look at Michael Porter Jr. now.
Stop those two right there. Stop those two. Yo, Joker, you could get your 30 points. You could have your 30 and triple-double. Murray, you can have your 30 and your triple-double too. But none of y'all and KCP or whatever, stop that dude from hitting them three-pointers. And we don't got to stop the main players. We got to stop these other three guys. And we good. And that's very doable. It's very doable. It's like, Sims, because what's the name? Aaron Gordon, he's athletic, but he's still really really stiff. And it's like, put Sims out there on him. So now it's two muscle dudes fighting each other.
Right.
Two muscle dudes fighting each other. And then you put your perimeter defenders on KCP, and you make Michael Porter Jr. have to dribble that ball. Because he's good at shooting. Make him have to put that ball on the floor. Close out.
I don't think they're benched. That's another thing that's separating, especially if we get healthy. That's the one thing that's going to separate the Knicks from other teams. Their depth. The Nuggets ain't got that kind of depth, but their starting five is, fire. Don't get me wrong. Aaron Gordon went to Denver and reinvented himself.
Yeah.
Become a defensive player, a rebounder. He reinvented himself. Instead of being a slam dunk guy, he fit right in. But they don't have no depth, guys. A lot of teams don't have no depth. The Knicks do. The Knicks could go 10 deep.
Easy.
We know nobody has a 10-man rotation, so.
Yeah, but the depth is also helped out because of injuries. These guys have had to play a lot of minutes.
Right, exactly.
So it's not like you've got a bench of guys who haven't been playing.
Been out there playing because they've been playing.
Yeah, because of the injury. So that also helps.
We still got two wild cards with Burke and Bogdanovich, who really haven't hit their stride yet.
No, they haven't.
They really haven't hit their stride yet. We know what Burks is capable of. And I've seen Bogdanovich play be like that dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like that dude. Post up, off the dribble, fadeaways, three-pointers. I don't know if he's not getting enough looks or he's not getting into his rhythm enough or something. It just seems really odd. And I'm like, I thought when Randall was out that he would get more playing time and be allowed to, get into his game a bit more. But it's just like, dude, he doesn't get a chance to get into a rhythm because, and I get it. We don't want to sacrifice him getting into a rhythm by losing games. I got it. So I'm not griping about Tibbs's strategy, but it's like somehow you got to figure out if it's a game that we know we're gonna win because the team just is not good. Like you get him out there and you get him rotation, you get him minutes so that he can find his stroke. Because
so my question is this: so with the way the Knicks are playing and they're playing great, nobody is taking anything away from them. What's going to happen when Randall comes back into the lineup? Are they going to still be playing the same way?
Well, he's got to adjust.
But we already see he's not capable of doing it.
He's been out for what, almost 2 months now? So he ain't going to come back like a thoroughbred. So he's still going to have a period of adjustment. Now, he's still going to have a period of adjustment. So it's not like he's going to be out there jacking up threes and the step backs and all of that stuff. So it's going to be a little slow go until he can get back into his stride, which will probably be like the playoffs. But that's cool because what that does is that allows teams not to structure their defense to hone in on him because he's not himself. And then when the playoff time comes, then it's like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. Now we gotta rethink this. We gotta reshuffle the deck because now we got all of these other pieces, and it's good that he got hurt because now you know what you got in Precious Achua. Now you know what you got from some of these other guys.
Right.
With Randall being out. So if he's not on, you ain't got to ride with him. You don't have to rock with him. You can put somebody else in the game. Yeah. And rock with them.
What people don't understand, or I guess they don't watch, or they just watch and they got tunnel vision. You gotta watch the game and watch the guys' numbers. Since we've got DiVincenzo, especially just DiVincenzo.
Right.
Look at the numbers. Look at how Randall's shots per game went down. Because he realized we finally got that one piece we didn't have. Who was our perimeter shooter last year?
Grimes.
I'll wait.
Grimes.
Right. I'll wait. Grimes. And he was here today, gone tomorrow. Who was a better perimeter shooter than DiVincenzo? I'll wait.
Nobody.
But see, Randall knew that, and he still walked away. He still was averaging 5-6 assists a night. But now we got two of those guys that if you try to double team Randall or you try to double team, I think Brunson holds the ball more than Randall. I think Brunson takes a little longer to notice that double team than Randall does, and he's your point guard. But even that being said, guys, these guys are still getting open looks. And you add Bogdanovich to that, I got it with Burks. I mean, Burks he's sometimey, but we knew what we were getting when we got Bogdanovich. This guy, shooters can shoot, guys. I say this all the time. You got to teach a shooter how to shoot. He can shoot. Give him a look, he can shoot. To Bishop's point, is he not getting enough looks? Yeah, I think so. You know, most of us don't miss many Knick games. So, I don't think he's getting enough looks, guys. For what we got him for, at the rate he's going, it was like we still got Fournier, except he's in the game. Right. Fournier just never got in the game, so he didn't get to put up no shots. Ain't no way in hell Bogdanovich is be getting 4 or 5 shots a night. No. Hell no. No. Not happening.
But who is that on?
That's on the point guard. That's on the point guard because Brunson is too busy taking his shots. Which I felt like that was the situation when Grimes was here. It's like, dude, and it was on Brunson only let that ball go when his boy got here, when DiVincenzo got here. Because I'm like, wait a minute, how's DiVincenzo getting 16 shots or 18 shots in one game, and Grimes can't get one? He playing like a whole half and might get one shot at the end of a quarter. But your boy getting 16 shots in the game, 18 shots in the game. So it's
I think for one, Bishop, he was a better shooter. He wasn't afraid of the moment. And I'll tell you what, Brunson is still averaging 20 to 23 shots a night. Yeah. As your point guard. That's it. I don't want to jinx some guys. I just think that's a bit much for a point guard. I mean, people will sit back and say, well, damn, Dom, he's still getting 6 assists a night.
They're good
but
shots,
he's shooting 23 times.
They're good shots.
That's a lot.
They're good shots.
That's a lot of shots for a point guard, guys. I don't mean to sound like that, but
no, I hear you. I mean,
they're good shots, though.
I'm not going to deny that, Bishop. They are good shots.
Yeah, but it's a lot of shots. So that means everybody's not getting in the flow as much as they should be.
Right.
Yep. That's the part that I worry about in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we shall see. I know. Definitely Cleveland is going to get spaced in the playoffs because they're not built. They're not built. Their big men are Mobley. Those dudes are not. The two guards are the main players on that team. And if you get the big men out of it, it doesn't matter what Mitchell and the other kid is doing. If you get the big men out of the game, that's it. That's pretty much it. Because they don't play lockdown defense like that. They're not going to out-tough you. They're not going to out-rebound you like that, especially the Knicks. So you just shut down the two big men, and boom, you good. You good.
I told you before, Bishop, they gave up their best big man to get Robinson, to get Donovan. They gave up marketing.
Yeah, but
he was their best big man.
Right. Yeah. So, and I'm not.
Now you got these two guys that can't get a damn shot. I mean,
I'm with R on. I'm not sold on Boston. It's going to be a real big disappointment. No. They got the best record in the league, and you get bugged.
Are they going to be the LA Dodgers?
There's a good chance of that. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's a good chance. I don't trust that team. As far as like they
got to play Miami in the first round.
Right.
You might beat them, but you ain't coming out of that unscathed.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Coming out of that unscathed, and then that next level might be the level that gets you. And I'm not sleeping on Miami because Miami has a way. Miami has a way of just disjointing your whole flow. And Adebayo, he can guard out at the 3-point line. So Porzingis ain't gonna just be standing out there and shooting wide open 3-pointers.
And here's the thing: he's 6'9" as a center.
But he's got a strong center of gravity.
Yeah,
and he's pretty strong. So it's kind of like Porzingis ain't built like that.
No,
they got guys. They got perimeter defenders that can guard Tatum and Brown. So just think about the wave of defenders. And now, not only that, now you got a point guard on Miami. So they what's the name? Is not even playing. The kid, what's the kid that he stays hurt now?
The shooter.
Yeah,
Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler.
Tyler Hero. Again.
He's not even playing. So what's the name? They're gonna get rid of him because they got the kid from Charlotte. And I was watching them playing. I'm like, yo, they play much better with him.
They did last year, Bishop. Somebody brought that up. They went on that run at the end of the season and in the playoff with him on the bench.
Yeah, but now you got you got the shooter on the team. Now he's putting the ball on the floor and taking off the dribble. And then who's their point guard now? The kid from Charlotte.
From Charlotte, yeah, I forgot his name. Oh man,
he used to play with Boston.
Yeah.
Terry
Rozier. Terry Rozier.
He plays. He fit right in with that. He fit right in with that core. So now you gotta play defense, and you gotta not make mistakes. And Boston is not there yet.
No,
they're not there yet. It's like they jack up a lot of threes. They take a lot of threes. They take a lot of tough shots. And I'm wondering, like, if they run into Miami in that first round, it's going to be a problem.
You know what, Bishop, you had mentioned we were talking about Tatum and whatnot. And, you know, while he's doing this thing right now in the regular season and whatnot, but when the playoffs come, it's a different beast. You understand what I'm saying? And you were mentioning his inadequacies. Now, we're talking about his faults as a player. And now then we get to Brown, the number 2, who's even far worse to me. You understand? He's far worse. So imagine that. So you're gonna have these two try to take the bulk of the shots. It's not gonna work out well. The threes, all these other
staying within himself.
Right.
He's playing within himself now because he knows dribbling is not really taking it off the dribble. It's not really his thing. So it's all drives. It's not. He's not playing with the ball. It's just a drive to get the foul, or he's pulling up and taking the shot. So he's kind of like, okay, well, I'm gonna get my shots, but I'm not gonna get my shots like how Tatum does. Tatum dribble the ball through his legs behind his back, a crossover, in and out, step back. Another swing dribble. He does a lot more of that. Where Brown is like, yeah, that's not really my strong suit, so I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna really look bad. I'm gonna really look bad when they steal the ball.
Sure. For sure.
Keep this in the back of your mind because it happens. It happens every year with them. Between Brown and Tatum, they're averaging 6.2 turnovers a night.
Right. Each.
No, together. But there are games. Y'all remember 2 years ago when I think Tatum had 50, 60 turnovers in the whole playoff series?
In the series.
Round one.
Yep.
He had like 50 turnovers, guys. This guy's a turnover machine. As good as he is, again, that's why I say Boston don't scare me. Jaylen Brown could only go one way. Tatum is going to be he's the poor man Boston version of Kobe Bryant with more turnovers and not a bigger heart as Kobe. But he wants to be Kobe Bryant so bad that may be getting in his way. And my last point will be the Boston Celtics have been winning the championship for the last 4 years. And where have they gotten so far?
Nothing.
Yeah. I'll wait.
Go Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, they're the Cowboys of the NBA.
Right. Wow.
Okay. Off subject a little bit.
Okay.
Offensive foul. Y'all going to tell me that dunk wasn't an offensive foul? I'm just saying.
Which dunk?
Ed Edwards over the boy.
It wasn't even a dunk. Why are we doing this now?
I was just asking the question.
It was a throw-in.
Yeah, it wasn't
Blake.
It was a throw-in.
It was a throw-in, but the problem that I had with that, is, so you see this dude coming, you know what he's capable of. Why not just yank him out of the air? Why not just yank him out of the air? I'm not trying to.
That's not today's NBA.
I don't care.
Same
I don't
thing.
care. I don't care. It's like it's not today's NBA. You know what he's trying to do.
Yep.
Not today.
Exactly.
Yank him out of the air.
Take you off of me.
Okay, I got the flagrant foul too. I was going for the ball. We both were going up hard. I didn't get to the ball. It was a basketball play. There's a flagrant foul 1, but he's missing 3 weeks of the season because he did some fancy stuff and tried to embarrass me.
Even if you don't hurt him, Bishop, you're sending a message that we ain't putting up with this shit.
Could have grabbed him in midair and punched him back down. You ain't doing this.
Hurt him, just grab him. You know what he was going to do. Grab him, bring him down, and call it joy. But, I'm getting sick of this, guys. Guys throwing the ball in the rim. Oh, you see that dunk? Come on.
That wasn't a dunk.
No dunk.
It wasn't a
dunk. No, it's not even
that
close.
Was the Blake Griffin. He did the same thing Blake Griffin did on Moscow. Y'all remember that, right? Yeah. Threw it in the rim, and it was, oh, my God, what a dunk. No. Stop.
Yeah.
But Collins got damn near punched in the face before all of that happened.
Then they got a concussion.
Yeah.
And they don't call it offensive foul. That's the part. That's really what I'm talking about. I'm not even talking.
And he was moving, and it was a basketball play that Anthony Edwards made. So if you want to play defense with your face, that's not my problem. That's not the offensive player's problem. He could have got kneed in his head the way he went in there. It's like, dude, why would you let him? Like, John Collins is pretty athletic. Why would you just go up there and make sure, you know what? You're going to hurt. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt because there's no way for you to land properly. You're not a cat. There's no way for you to land properly. You're going to land on your butt. You're going to land on your arm. You're going to try to brace your fall. But there's no way for you to land properly.
But Bishop, wasn't John Collins the same one that
dunked on?
And when he was on Atlanta, and the Knicks playoff series, he dunked on somebody and then had a T-shirt made. And
that was Embiid. That was Embiid.
Oh, it was. Okay.
He dunked on Embiid, and then he had the T-shirt. He came to the next game with the T-shirt.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
That was when he dunked on Embiid, and that was crazy. That was nasty.
Yeah, okay.
That was a dunk. That was a nasty dunk. He caught Embiid.
Yeah.
Shuffling instead of running. Shuffling, pigeon-toe shuffling his feet, and he caught him.
I could have sworn there was something else he did when he trolled the Knicks or something like that.
No, it was Embiid. He was trolling Embiid because when Embiid fell, not only did he fall, but his legs went up in the air and his booty was exposed. And John Collins was standing there, like looking at him. He was standing there, like looking at him, like
no homo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was just like wow.
I always like Collins though.
Yeah, it's tough to play with. It's tough to play with Ice Tray. It's tough to play with Ice Tray though.
Yeah, it is
tough. It's tough because John Collins is at a mid-range, go off the dribble, athletic, get rebounds, putbacks, and he couldn't get opportunities.
Maybe. Okay, maybe that's what it is because I wasn't really impressed with that dude on that level like that. But again, y'all said it's tough to play with Trey, so I can see that.
Well, he got that big contract. He got that big contract, and it wasn't based on him getting rebounds and stuff. He just like, and it started. I think that's probably what was part of what's the name's end. Nate McMillan.
Yeah,
that was part of his end when he was telling Trae Young that he had to pass the ball. He had to pass the ball.
Yeah.
So it was like, why do I have to pass the ball when I'm capable of scoring 30? That was part of the problem.
Right.
And it's still a problem. It's still part of the problem. And you got the coach fired and supposedly got this coach in that is a great communicator and so forth. And now you still can't get it right, Trae Young. You still can't get it right. And then you're trying to force your way to San Antonio so that you can play with Wembanyama. It's like, if you think these coaches are strict, imagine when you do one of those moves and take a step back three-pointer and pop. It's like, that's not what we do here.
Right.
There you go.
So, but I'm Atlanta, you know what? Who cares?
Hey, listen. With that being said, let me end this episode if you guys don't mind. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into some other stuff next week.
Boy.
Hey, man. I'm not trying to
finally
hit
get your Wi-Fi straight, and now you want to end the session.
Before you guys go, we have our first one. My goodness.
What's that?
What was they ranked? Oh, Lord, Kentucky done bit the dust.
Yeah, they were ranked 3.
Yeah.
They were 3.
They were the third seed.
Yeah, they lost to a 14.
Oakland
got beat. Who beat them?
Oakland.
Yep.
Some
brackets are busted.
Sleeper team to watch.
Yep.
They had this one kid that was just knocking them down.
I'm saying the sleeper team to watch is Oregon.
Okay.
Oregon they always have athletic, tall, lanky, big guys.
Yeah.
But now they got some shooters and they got a point guard.
Okay.
They got a couple of shooters on there.
Okay.
And they got some bona fide guards on that team as well. So I expect Oregon to make some noise.
Okay.
They're always a tough out.
We're gonna see how this develops. We got it.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
Nice to dust, huh? Wow.
Yep. Well, gentlemen, it's been real. It's been regular.
Yeah.
We got to end the stream. So shout out and appreciate all of you, David, Dom, Bishop, Reggie, Ronan in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate all the people in the chat room. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week.
Yeah.
Peace.
Oz got to go give the Ethernet cord back.
Whatever.